Hi, my name is Frank Schaefer, and what better place than a gloomy, rainy day to talk about the first 6 months of the Trump presidency. You know, in trying to find a handle to describe the whole thing, besides the racist reaction against our first black president, which is all the Republicans have been about for 8 years plus 6 months now with their so-called repeal of Obamacare, the only way I can describe the Trump presidency is it's the day the liars stop pretending to tell the truth. It's the time when the Republican Party has sold out completely to this grifter and con man and his family, all to strip medical care from millions of Americans in order to bankroll lavish tax cuts for the super wealthy. It's when the Koch brothers, combined with Ayn Rand's philosophy of self-involvement and selfishness, became the official doctrine of evangelical Christians that up until recently claimed to be following Jesus and his teachings about love for others, forgiveness, care for the poor, putting other people first. The evangelical religion that I come from as the son of one of the founders of the religious right that I worked with back in the 1970s and 80s, my father Francis Schaefer, that whom after he died I rethought my own position and left the evangelical movement and the religious right. Nevertheless, back in those days, he and so many others like Billy Graham and so forth would have been horrified to fast forward to our present era, where the Republican Party has now kowtowed to, I'm sorry to put it so bluntly, but kissed the butt of this philandering liar, this pathological sociopath who has spent a life conning people in the casino business, laundering money for Russian oligarchs through his real estate business, multiple bankruptcies, fake universities, and so forth, that they should wind up now in hock to this family of grifters, this nepotistic family that is using the Trump presidency to advance their own wealth ambitions, and that the Republican Party itself winds up in hock to the 81% of white evangelicals that made all this possible, and they wind up in hock to the combined philosophy of the Koch brothers, which is to rape the earth and profit, combined with neo-fascist right-wing ideology and hatred for the poor, combined with Ayn Rand's philosophy of valuing nothing but wealth and power, that this is where we would wind up, and that they would have the terminally incompetent fool, Donald Trump, who is a poster child for everything that is worst and most shameful about the United States of America anyway, that we would come to this pass now is just simply mind-boggling. So the only way to describe the first 6 months is as some sort of judgment on naked capitalism, naked wealth and ambition, combined with a valueless amorality that literally will sell the poor, to put it in the words of an Old Testament prophet, for a pair of shoes. In Donald Trump's daughter's case, shoes made in China that she got patents for by representing herself rather than the United States as his so-called advisor. This is where we are. The evangelicals have denied everything they say they believe. We have adopted his lies instead of any truth baseline. The Republican Party is in hock to a third-rate goofball, grifter, con man who would have only been successful in the United States from the mid-20th century on, when our literacy rate declined, television took over, and the whole culture became pornified on every fucking level. Sorry about the language. Thank you. My name is Frank Schaefer.